Hey everyone, it's Julie Moon with Finovate bringing you another 25 in 5. That's 25 questions in 5 minutes. Today I'm joined by Milind Borkar, founder and CEO of Illuma Labs, one of our FinovateFall demoing companies. Milind, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us today.
Great. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get the timer started with 5 minutes on the clock, and we'll jump right into the questions and go. Milind, what was your first job?
A while back at university, I worked at Georgia Tech. I worked at the housing department, filing away maintenance paperwork. My first paycheck.
What was your most recent job?
Long way since then. So prior to Illuma Labs, I was at Texas Instruments, a large semiconductor manufacturer. Had several roles at that company. My last role, I was leading the marketing efforts for one of the high growth product lines, and a lot of travel, more than 50 products launched in that year. Fantastic experience.
Great. Where is Illuma Labs headquarters location?
We're located in Plano, Texas. So for those who may not know Plano, it's part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, just north of Dallas.
Can you describe Plano, Texas in 3 words?
Various delicious foods, I would say, and that applies to the entire Metroplex more so than just Plano.
Yeah, great. If Illuma Labs wasn't headquartered in Texas, where would your second choice be?
It's really hard to choose. I'd say competition would be tough between New York, San Francisco, and Denver.
Hotspots, yeah. Can you describe Illuma Labs in a hashtag?
Several, but I'll say voice security is probably the best one, in my opinion.
Can you describe yourself in a hashtag?
Based on where I spend 120% of my time today, I'd say dadpreneur.
Very good. What's one thing that most people don't know about fraud prevention?
Basically, all your information is available on the internet. Just depends on how hard you look for it and how much you're willing to pay.
What's your favorite country to visit?
Japan, by far.
What's the last country you visited?
India, outside of the US, obviously.
Yeah. What is a country that you'd really like to visit?
Love to visit Japan again. I visited for a lot of different trips, business trips, one trip for pleasure, but there's so much more that I'd like to cover that's still on top of my list to go to again.
What's the biggest surprise you've ever received in your career?
Let's see, completely unexpected. After we had our twin baby girls, I got an email when I was half delirious inviting us to come up to Washington, D.C. for a congressional roundtable to brief congressmen and congresswomen on the work we're doing at Illuma Labs. So that was the biggest surprise I've had, and I don't foresee another bigger surprise than that in the future.
That's cool. What are 3 things that you can't live without?
If I chose 3, I wouldn't have a place to live anymore, so I have to choose 4. It's my wife and my 3 little kids, Ethan, Elise, and Mila.
Cute, I like that. What is the most overly used phrase in fintech right now?
I'd say by far machine learning and artificial intelligence, fintech as well as outside.
What's the most underused phrase in fintech right now?
That's a really hard one. If I knew, I'd be working on that technology right now.
Yeah, that's a good point. When you fly, do you prefer a window seat or an aisle seat?
Aisle.
What is your favorite mobile app?
I seem to gravitate to funny pictures apps. I'm a meme follower. iFunny right now is the top of my list.
Very good. Do you have a secret talent?
I think in terms of useful talents, I think I can load more things into the dishwasher than anybody else I know. So I'm up for a competition if anyone in the audience wants to compete.
Very good. What is the most adventurous thing you've ever done in your life?
Eaten live shrimp in San Diego. That was by far the most adventurous thing. Luckily, I had a couple of beers before that.
Yeah, you'd need that. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I'd say telekinesis.
What is the best advice you've ever received?
Again, hard to choose, but I'd say one that slightly inches ahead of the rest is luck is a combination of preparation and opportunity, not just pure chance.
What is your favorite way to decompress?
Say a good whiskey, a good movie, and a good night's sleep.
What fintech trend do you see dominating in 2021?
I'd say more so than earlier years, digital transformation of traditional in-person processes that people were very accustomed to doing, going into branches to do themselves.
Mhm. What are you hoping to get out of FinovateFall later this month?
Fairly young startup, so obviously our focus is on clients for Illuma Shield. Hope you watch the demo and come by our booth.
Cool. And last question, how many other meetings do you have today?
6 meetings scheduled, and there's one more which might pop up. So this was the one I was most looking forward to.
Oh, good. That's great to hear. Well, let's see the time. 5 minutes and 13 seconds, just barely over the mark. Milind, great work. Thank you so much for participating today. And to our audience, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Milind Borkar, founder and CEO of Illuma Labs. Be sure to check out Illuma Labs at their digital booth to learn more. Thanks.
Thanks, Julie.